Let's start with the suit or the revival of the suit last week and just get your immediate response to it.
Well, the suit you're talking about is a private action that has gone up to appeals and will go back to the trial court. We did quite well at the trial level. There were a couple of issues the appellate court has sent back, and so we look forward to going back to the district court and settling those out. But the big issue is the litigation involving the SEC, and we feel quite good about where we are. We were able to get one of the major pillars of the SEC's case against us knocked out at a very early stage in the trial. We're going to go to discovery.
Yes.
And we look forward to that process.
We're going to talk about your relationship with DC and the regulatory pathway, but one thing we've reflected on Bloomberg Technology in the last year is that in your industry, we continue to regulate through lawsuits.
Yeah.
Would you say that that's a fair statement? And in the context of both the consumer suit and the SEC, that's what's happening still.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, in the end of the day, as a company, our goal is to get regulatory clarity. So if that's through lawsuits or otherwise, we'll take it. But the right way to regulate, particularly if the U.S. is going to be a leader in digital asset technology, is for Congress and the administration to do what they say they want to do, which is to create comprehensive federal frameworks around crypto markets and around stablecoin issuance. I think we can do it on a bipartisan basis, and we hope our letter is encouraging of that to happen.
You've written this letter to Schumer and others, McConnell and others. Why?
Well, we have a shared objective with Treasury and law enforcement, which is to get at bad actors that are in the crypto space. So there are specific powers that Treasury should have. They've asked Congress for, and we're supportive of. But we also want to remind everyone that the big picture is that we need the industry to grow in the United States, reflecting U.S. values and under U.S. laws. And the bigger the U.S. industry is, and the more comprehensive it is in terms of defining crypto globally, the better it is for American national security.
What the lawsuits we discussed and this initiative with DC have in common is you're trying to make everyone feel better that the ghosts of your industry are behind you. Let's be honest, Sam Bankman-Fried was a big story of the last week, his sentencing. Do you feel like, I mean, that's your job. Are you making any progress in convincing a wide range of people that this is a cleaner industry that is making progress?
Well, absolutely. I mean, remember, much of the bad actions that we saw, FTX, Binance, others, were largely offshore. So I think for a lot of people, it surprises them that the degree to which there is a dividing line between the U.S. industry and those offshore who avoid stringent regulation. But in the end of the day, you know, 52 million Americans who have bought crypto. The American people have voted with their feet and their pocketbooks that they want to help update the system by participating in the crypto economy. And regulations need to keep up with them. And I think there's a bit of a gap, but sometimes between policymakers and the public. And I think once people begin to see how many Americans have participated, I think they'll understand it's time to act.
We've carried some committee hearings on this program, and we're aware of some lawmakers' thoughts on your industry. If there is one area of lingering concern, it's about the use of crypto, which is a broad term now, in illicit finance or, you know, white-collar crime. How much progress are you making with getting DC on board to work together on that front?
Well, I think Deputy Secretary Adeyemo said it well, that the traditional financial sector is by far the larger threat to illicit activity. That's where most of the illicit activity occurs. I think they look at crypto as an area of potential future emergence as a center of illicit activity. Any amount of bad actions in crypto is too much. And, you know, companies like ours follow all the same rules that traditional finance does. Our Bank Secrecy Act regulated and so on. And so I think those who know that the industry in the U.S. is a good actor.
Faryar, it's clear what you want, but we have this House Financial Services Committee piece of legislation that Patrick McHenry is trying to get through. No traction there. Why is there no traction, really?
Look, it's rare for Congress to pass bills through two different committees with strong bipartisan votes, and that's what we have. So, yeah, I think, look, getting any legislation done, funding the government, funding the wars, all of that's going to be hard to do. But if you take a step back and realize that you've got Democrats and Republicans who've come together, who understand we need digital assets in the United States, and they voted for it, I think that's exciting.